Hi everybody and welcome to SA Cricket Money Man Show. Mark Keohane in studio. Mark, who else would it be?
Definitely not England.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a shock result, I think.
Definitely, and I have to also love the English media. They said there was no loser. Cricket was the winners. So yeah, fantastic result from the West Indies. To think they flew over there, people said, why are you even coming to this country? They said if we quarantine, we get put in a bubble, we should be good to go. They had such a positive approach to the whole thing. And they
they would never come to South Africa. No electricity, no alcohol, no cigarettes.
Yeah, but they can get weed. So they would be fine. But yeah, just a wonderful test match. It started off with 15 minutes of play, basically. They say it had a wicket, a run, and the rain in the first 15 minutes. And then there were a couple of rain delays, but the kind of quality you want to see in a test match, it wasn't 600, one team scoring on 500. It was a wonderful contest between bat and ball. And then on that last day, I think it all came down to Archer, and it's like West Indian, he should have been playing for them. According to them, he's playing for England, and he just gave it everything in those last two sessions. And the contest between him and the West Indian top and middle order was just fantastic to watch. So just a great result, and showed what is possible. You know, like we looked at the rugby in New Zealand and said full house in Auckland, people coming back, no consequence to that. Also no consequence to this. Showed it can be done, and I just wish for the day we can start seeing spectators everywhere again at those grounds. If you look at their graphs in their countries, those numbers are dwindling. Just do it responsibly. Hopefully we'll have business as usual, and then we'll get there in about 2021.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, what I think one of the things that played into the West Indies was the COVID, that you had to be there for. Touring sides very seldom spend 30 days in prep for in the country that they're touring, and I think that probably had a great impact on bonding the team and working in that tour mentality for the touring side, the West Indies.
And they've got a very good captain in Jason Holder, who's hugely respected within the team. And the one thing about West Indies teams of the past is you wondered how united they were. Which island did they come from? Was there a bit of division? So I read a piece where they rate him possibly now having a similar kind of impact that Viv Richards had.
Well, he is 6'7". He's a massive bloke.
Yeah, and he can score a test 100. He can take 5 wickets. He's a good fielder, but he seems to have this calming influence. And for the first time in a long time, a West Indies team arrived. They were speaking very confidently about their pace attack. Felt that they had a very good top order, and it wasn't just one name that we were looking at. A Laurie. If Laurie doesn't succeed, that's the end of the West Indies.
Well, usually one of them causes a collapse.
Yes.
And the collapse is catastrophic.
Yeah, and even when they lost a few wickets, Ben Stokes bowled particularly well. West Indies 2-3 seasons ago could have crumbled and been bowled out for 150. They were so professional. They were so kind of calculated in getting to that 200. And they lost 6 wickets, one of them when they needed 10 runs to go. But even when we thought, okay, here comes the shake, the pressure's on, Archer was bowling so well, Stokes was bowling well, they kind of fought through it, and that's something that's been absent in West Indies Test cricket for a long time.
Yeah, there wasn't any of this brain freeze about horrible shots. I think in the past you see the West Indies going there with that Caribbean
Calypso kind of like
attitude.
chaos,
Yeah. And taking terrible shots, and you didn't see any of that. It was a disciplined. I think they'd lost. I think they were 3 down with a man in the with a man in the.
Yeah, 3 for 35, and one retired hurt. Then they have to come back and bat. So, with a very good England attack, and you got Archer bowling particularly well. Stokes, who was kind of as the captain, he knew when to bowl himself, and I was very impressed by the West Indies and. And as you said, they just look like a unified outfit. But I do think that prep was massive, because they ordinarily would have played a few warm-up games. Some players would have arrived later because of IPL. Would have been fairly disjointed, and
well, it shows you what you need to do on tour to prep. I mean, any value on the West Indies winning the series? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. If they can, if they
Next
can,
2 games I think are in Old Trafford, eh?
yeah, if they can just, I think if they can just stick to the formula, England is going to have to play very well to beat them. And there's a lot of question marks about, is that England top order the right
Well,
one?
Root will be back next
Root
game
will be
as well.
back, but Stuart Broad will probably be back. He was hugely upset that Stokes left him out. Stokes said that he doesn't regret the decision. He felt that there was better bowling options. Stuart Broad had this very emotional interview with the media. Said he was gutted, 485 wickets that he's played. He felt he's one of the form players, and that he felt he was better than the ones that they picked.
I have to agree with him.
And Stokes said if he didn't feel like that, well, then there would be a problem. But what message am I putting out after the test to the ones that were picked to say I got it wrong in not picking Broad? He said, and if he plays in the second test, which he all likelihood would, I'm sure he's going to give me a big up yours when we get onto that field and the way he kind of takes to the crease. So I was surprised that he wasn't there, and I thought they really missed him, and especially on that last day, that experience, and a guy who's kind of been there, done it, and his career has shown that when he gets into a zone, he can bowl some of those most amazing 45-minute bowling spells and takes 3-4 wickets and kind of decides the test, as he did against the Proteas at the Wanderers a couple of years ago.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for your insight, bud.
Pleasure.